So yeah, what I do is I go out into the street, and I'm holding this fake baby, right?
Okay.
And I run into the street.
Fake baby.
Yeah, and I pretend to get hit by it.
Uh-huh.
Hey, are we rolling right now? Hello. My name is Anthony Crehan. I'm the director of this little project. Enchanté. When I first began this journey, I didn't know what to expect. I'd of course seen the amazing actress Irina Arkadina in all of my favorite movies, Last Train to Torrance, The Quietest of the Sheep, but I never expected that I'd get a chance to see her and her whole extended family up close. So when my producer Lauren told me that the estate had contacted her to make a documentary about Arkadina's life, it was like a dream come true. But alas, all that glitters is not gold. We ran into creative differences with Arkadina within the first few weeks of filming. Creative differences which required lawyers to get involved. We were handed a cease and desist order and unable to release the footage. Arkadina said her image was on the line, and that was that. That was the end of it. All that hard work documenting this family, gone. However, 2 years to the day since we started our initial filming, we have received permission to release these episodes to the public with the blessing of Irina Arkadina's estate and the promise for more episodes in the future. Now, a very quick and very genuine note, this production contains references to suicide, ableism, sexism, mental illness, as well as sexual and emotional abuse. If any of those topics are sensitive to you, please feel free to click away from this particular program. As we embark on this grand expedition, remember, this is a story about a family. A very famous and well-off family, to be sure, but a family nonetheless. I invite you to join me on this journey through the complex inner workings of the human mind, the true nature of art, and the immense capability of the human spirit for oblivious, apathetic cruelty. No doubt we're in for one hell of a ride. This is the Seagull.
Why do you always wear black?
Because I'm in mourning for my life. I'm not happy.
Why not? I don't understand why not. You're in good health. Your father is, well, he's not rich, but he's pretty well off. I'm in a lot worse shape than you are. I make $1,300 a month, and that's before taxes. And I'm not in mourning.
It's not about the money. You could be poor and still be happy.
Well, maybe in theory, but it doesn't work out that way. There's me, my mother, my 2 sisters, my little brother. I'm the wage earner, and all I get is $1,300. How am I supposed to buy a drink, or have sugar for tea, or afford cigarettes even? I can't do it.
It's about time for the performance to start.
Yeah. Buster wrote a play, and that Zarecki girl is starring in it. They're in love. Tonight, their souls will be united in a unique artistic endeavor. But your soul and my soul can't find a way to get united. I love you. I love you so much I can't stay away. Every day I come over here, it's 5 miles over and 5 miles back, and all I get from you is indifference. But I can see why. I haven't got any money. I've got all this family to support. Who'd want to marry a man who can't afford enough to eat?
That's not the reason. I know you love me. I'm touched. I just don't love you back, that's all. Want some?
No thanks.
smuggy out. Probably rain later on. You know, all you ever do is talk about money. You think there's nothing worse than being poor, but I think it'd be 1,000 times better to go around in rags and beg on the street than to be, you wouldn't understand.
It's just, I don't know, my boy. I just don't feel right in the country. Last night, I went to bed at 10, and I woke up this morning at 9, and it felt like my brain was stuck to my skull or something. And then today, after lunch, I fell asleep again, and I didn't mean to, and now I'm exhausted, like I had a nightmare or something.
Well, you should go live in town. Look, we'll call you when it's time, but right now I don't want anybody else out here. Do you mind?
Oh, yeah.
Masha, would you please ask your pa to see that the dog gets tied up tonight? Otherwise, she just barks, and my sister won't sleep a wink the whole night.
Yeah. You can ask my father yourself. I don't intend to. Come on. Let's go.
Don't forget to tell us when it starts.
That means that the dog will bark all night long. It's always the same story. I never get to live in the country the way I want. You know, used to be, I take a month off, come out here to do nothing, just relax or something. And the minute I got here, they'd be after me with this and that. And after a day of it, I'd just be ready to leave. The only time I ever felt relaxed was the day I left. Only now that I'm retired, I haven't got any other place to go. That's it, I guess. Just go on living whether you feel like it or not.
Have to tinker real much. We're going to take a dip in the pool.
All right, but we'll be back in 10 minutes. Well, we've got to start soon.
Don't worry.
We will. Now this is what I call a theater, right? No set, empty space. All you can see is the valley, the sea, and the far horizon. And the performance will start at exactly 8:30, just as the moon rises.
That's wonderful.
Of course, if Nina's late, the whole effect will be ruined. Oh, she should have been here by now. Her father and her stepmother keep her locked up almost. Getting her out of the house is like getting her out of prison. Here's a mess. So was your beard. You should have shaved.
Tragedy of my life. Even when I was your age, I look as if I've been up all night drinking. Never had any luck with women either. Why is your mother so irritable?
Why? She's bored. She's also jealous. She already hates me. She hates my play. She hates this performance tonight because she's afraid her writer friend might like Nina. She hasn't even read my play, but she hates it already.
You're just imagining things.
She's angry because Nina's the star of the show and she isn't. She's a psychological textbook, my mother. She's talented, no question about that, and smart too. She can recite all of Rupi Kaur's poetry by heart. And she's a wonderful nurse if anybody gets sick. But she is, really. But I just try talking about Meryl Streep in front of her. Oh no, you gotta talk about her, or applaud her, or tell her she was divine and the quietest of the sheep, or write a piece of trash like bang. And here she is in the country where nobody knows who she is. So she's bored, and then she gets mean, and of course it's all our fault. And she's superstitious, and she won't see Macbeth in a theater, and she's terrified of the number 13. And she's stingy. I happen to know for a fact she has 10 million in the bank, but go ask her for a loan, and she's in hysterics.
You see, you've already made up your mind. She won't like your play. And you're all upset already. Just calm down. Your mother adores you.
She loves me not. She loves me not. See, my mother doesn't love me. Well, what would she? She wants to lead a glamorous life, make love to that man, and dress like an 18-year-old. And then there's me. I'm 25 years old. I'm a constant reminder that she's not young anymore. See, when I'm not around, she's only 32. When I'm around, she's 43. That's why she hates me. Besides, I can't stand her kind of performance. She loves the theater. She seems to think she's serving the cause of humanity. She thinks she's the priestess of high art. But what I think is that kind of performance is so tired. It's all worn out. It's so restrictive. The curtain goes up or the projector comes on. You're in a room with 3 walls, and there they are, these servants of art, and all they do is show you how people eat, drink, make love, walk, and wear clothes. And again, And then they try to draw some nice, easy little morals, something you wouldn't mind having around the house. You go, they give you the same thing over and over, and it makes me sick. God, I want to run away from it all, the way Maupassant ran away from the Eiffel Tower. He thought it was so ugly and vulgar.
But we need art. We can't do without it.
We need new forms. We need new forms, and if we can't have them, then we're better off with no art at all. And I love my mother. I do. But, I mean, just look at her. I mean, she smokes and drinks and flaunts her affair with that writer of hers. Her name is never out of the news, and I hate all that. Sometimes I think it's just my ego talking. I mean, I'm just an ordinary mortal, aren't I? Sometimes I'm sorry she's a great actress. And I think if she were just an ordinary woman, I'd be happier. It's awful. She's all these famous people at her parties, actors and writers, and I'm the only one of them who isn't famous, and the only reason they tolerate me is because I'm her son. And who am I? I've dropped out of college in my 3rd year. I'm not talented. I haven't got a cent to my name. And my birth certificate says I'm from Cleveland. Might as well say I was born into the middle class. Why? Because my father was from Cleveland and he was middle class, but he just happened to be a famous actor. So there I am with all these actors and writers, and finally someone is kind enough to talk to me, but I know they just think I'm a nobody, and I just want to die.
This writer of hers, what's he like? I can never figure him out. He never says a thing.
Kind of ordinary, doesn't say much. He's not dumb, though. He's not even 40 yet, and he's already rich and famous. He can have anything he wants. So now he drinks beer and goes for older women. I don't know what to say about his writing. I mean, he's got talent and charm, but, well, who wants to read Trigorin after Tolstoy or Gaiman?
I just love writers. There was a time, all I ever wanted to do was 2 things. Get married and become a writer. And never did either one. Yes, well, it must be nice to be a writer, even if you're not famous, I suppose.
There's somebody coming. It's her. Oh, God. Oh, I can't live without her. Even the sound of her footsteps is perfect. I'm so happy. I'm out of my mind. Hello, my darling, my little bear. Oh.
I'm not late, I'm not, am I?
No.
I've been worried all day. I was afraid my father wouldn't let me come, but he and my stepmother just left. The sky was getting dark and the moon was starting to rise, so I ran as fast as I could. And I'm so glad I'm here.
Your pretty eyes look like they've been crying. Now, mustn't do that.
Oh no, it's just that See, I'm still out of breath. I haven't got more than half an hour, so we must hurry, okay? Don't make me late, I just can't be late. My father doesn't know I'm here.
All right, we've got to start anyway. I'll go get her.
No. I'll go or something. Don't know why. There's no sun up in the sky. Wait, it's funny, because one time I was singing like this, just... And then one of my coworkers, they said, sir, you have a really loud voice. And then he thought for a minute, and then he said, loud. And annoying.
Father and stepmother don't like my coming over here. They think we're all a bunch of bohemians. They're afraid I'll want to be a famous actress. But it's the ocean that attracts me, as if I were a seagull. My heart's overflowing with you.
We're alone.
I thought I heard someone over there.
There's no one there.
What kind of tree is that?
An elm?
Why is it so dark?
Because it's almost night. Things get dark at night. Don't go right back tonight, please.
I have to.
What if I come with you? I'll stand in the garden all night long and stare at your window.
You can't.
Yeah.
There's a watchman. Besides, Treasure isn't used to you. He'd bark.
I love you. Is that you, Yakov?
Yeah, it's me.
Sorry, is the moon rising?
Yeah, it sure is.
Is the fire pot ready? And the sulfur, when the red eyes start to glow, there has to be a smell of sulfur.
You got it.
Go on, everything's ready. Are you nervous?
Oh God, am I? I don't mean your mother. I'm not afraid of her, but Tregorin is here. I'm afraid to act in front of him. Ashamed too, I guess. He's such a famous writer. Is he young?
Yes.
What wonderful stories he writes.
I don't know, I never read them.
It's not easy to act in your play, you know. There aren't any ordinary people in it.
Ordinary people? We have to show life not the way it is, or the way it should be, but, right, the way it is in dreams.
But nothing happens in your play. It's all one long speech. And besides, I think a play ought to have a love story in it.
It's getting damp. Go and put on your galoshes.
I'm hot.
Never take care of yourself. You're so pig-headed. You're a doctor. You should know the damp air is bad for you, but you just want me to suffer. Yesterday, you sat out on the terrace all night long, and you did it on purpose.
Smiling at me.
You were so involved in your conversation with Irina, you never even noticed the cold. You find her attractive, don't you? Go on, admit it.
Look, I'm 55 years old.
Don't be silly. For men, that's not old. Anyway, you've kept yourself in shape. That's why women still like you.
What do you want me to do?
You fall at her feet, all of you, because she's an actress. Every one of you.
Nothing to lose. Do I see? People love actresses. Of course they do differently. Different than, say, a sales lady. That's just the way people are. They're always looking for an ideal image.
Women are always falling in love with you, hanging all over you. Is that what you call looking for an ideal image?
Or what? I looked at lots of women. Most of them were wonderful. But what attracted them the most was the fact that I was a doctor. You remember, 10 or 15 years ago, I was the only decent plastic surgeon in the county. But I never took advantage of my patients.
Oh, my darling!
Yes, on Broadway 25 years ago. She was wonderful. Ravishing. Brilliant acting. And that comic Chadine, Paul Chadine, do you remember him? Best Norman I ever saw, madam. Better than Williams. I swear to God. Do you have any idea what became of him?
How should I know? Why do you keep asking me about these old has-beens?
Paul Chadine. They don't make them like that anymore. The whole industry's in decline, Marina Nikolaevna. There were giants back then. Nothing left now but pygmies.
Well, there aren't all that many geniuses nowadays, true, but I like to think acting in general has improved.
No.
In the smaller roles, I mean.
No? There, I have to disagree with you, but those are, after all, matters of taste. De gustibus aut bene aut nihil.
Dear boy, when are we going to start?
In just a minute. Please be patient.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turns my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grain spots as will not leave their taint.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an unseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. We are about to start. I shall commence. O ye time-honored ancient mists that drive at night across the surface of the sea and land, blind you our eyes with sleep, and show us in our dreams that which will be in twice 10,000
20,000 years, there will be nothing left. Nothing.
Then let them show us that nothing.
Let them please. The magic spell is making us sleepy.
All men and beasts, lions, eagles, quail, horned deer, wild geese, spiders, wordless fish that inhabit the waves, and one word, life. All life, completing the dreary round imposed upon it, has died out at last. No longer are the cries of storks heard in the meadows, or the drone of beetles in the grove of limes. All is cold. Cold. The bodies of all living things have dropped to dust, and internal matter has transformed them into stones and water and clouds. But their spirits have flowed together into one, and that great world soul am I. In me is the spirit of the great Alexander, the spirit of Napoleon, of Caesar, of Shakespeare, and of the tiniest leech that swims.
Is this supposed to be symbolic?
Mama.
I am alone. Once in 1,000 years my lips are opened, and my voice echoes mournfully across the desert earth, and no one hears. And you, poor lights of the marsh, you do not hear me. You flit unwavering until dawn, unconscious, unreasoning, unwarmed by the breath of life. The demon, father of eternal matter, trembling lest the spark of life should glow in you, has ordered an unceasing movement of the atoms that compose you, and so you shift and change forever. I, the spirit of the universe, I alone am immutable and eternal. In my fierce and obstinate battle with the demon, the source of the forces of eternal matter, I am destined to be victorious in the end. Matter and spirit will then be one at last in glorious harmony, and the reign of freedom will begin on earth. The mighty enemy, the demon.
Something smells. Is that part of the effect?
Yes.
I can always recognize an effect.
Mama?
He mourns the absence of humanity.
Put your hat back on. You're gonna catch cold like that.
Oh no, the doctor wants to meet the demon, father of eternal matter.
That's it. Play's over. Get off the stage.
What are you getting mad for?
It's over. It's all over. Get off the stage. I said get off the stage. I'm very sorry. I forgot that only the chosen few can write plays or act in them. I tried to break into the charmed circle, and look what happens.
What's the matter with him? For God's sake, Arena, you cannot talk to a man like that. You hurt his pride.
What did I say?
You insulted him.
Well, he told us himself this was going to be a joke, so that's the way I treated it, like a
All
joke.
the same, I'm sure.
Oh,
you
and
know
now
that's
it turns
not-
out he's written a masterpiece? Can you believe this? He arranged all this, that foul smell, not as a joke, but as an attack upon me. He wants to teach us how to write and how to act. It's getting very boring. These constant attacks against me, these snide remarks, I don't care what you say, they drive anyone crazy. He's just a selfish, spoiled child.
He only wanted to please you.
Oh, really? Well, did he ever think about what I might like to watch? No. Instead, he gives us some sort of symbolist raving. Now, I don't mind raving if it's part of the act, but all this pretentious searching for new forms, for a new era in art. You know what I think? These aren't new forms, it's just old-fashioned nastiness.
Everybody writes the way they want.
Fine. Let him write whatever way he wants, whatever way he can. Just don't make me sit through it.
Almighty Jove, thou art angry.
I'm not Mighty Jove, I'm a woman. And I'm not angry, I'm just annoyed to think of a young man wasting his time like this. I didn't mean to insult him.
Also,
You know, there's no scientific basis for separating soul from matter. For all we know, the soul is just a collection of atoms. You know what they ought to write a play about? School teachers.
Oh my God.
And what a hard life we lead. I'd love to see that on the stage.
Oh, let's talk about something else, shall we?
What a marvelous evening.
You hear that singing? Absolutely marvelous.
It's coming from the other side of the hill.
Come sit beside me a minute. 10 or 15 years ago, there was music and singing on the beach almost every night. There were 6 big country houses by the shore then. I remember the laughter and the parties. The parties. People were always shooting off guns all night long. And the love affairs, the endless love affairs. And you know who's the handsome juvenile lead? The Don Juan of all the hills was our dear doctor here. He's still delightful, but back then he was irresistible. Oh, my conscience is starting to bother me. Why did I have to be so rude to my poor boy? I'm all upset. Kostya! Kostya, my son!
I'll go look for him. Oh, would you mind? Thank you, dear.
Sure. Constantine!
It doesn't look as if we're going on, so I might as well come out.
Bravo! Bravo!
Oh, my dear, we just adored you. With your looks and that marvelous voice, it's a sin to keep you out here in the country. My dear, I believe in you. You simply must go on the stage.
Well, that's my dream, but it'll never happen.
Who knows? Here, let me introduce you. Boris Alexievich Trigorin.
Oh, I'm so honored. I've watched and read all your things.
Don't be embarrassed, dear. He may be famous, but he's really very ordinary. Look, he's embarrassed too.
Well, we should do something about that stage. It's a facility sitting there like that.
It was a strange...
Chekhov, my boy. Take away the stage. Continue.
It was a strange play, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm afraid I didn't understand a thing. But it was very interesting to watch. You were wonderful. And of course, the set was magnificent. I bet there are a lot of fish by that beach.
What? Oh, I suppose there must be.
I love to fish. I can't think of a greater joy in the world than to sit on a dock watching a float bob up and down.
Oh, but I think once you've known the thrill of creation, all other pleasures must pale by comparison.
Oh, don't say things like that to him. He hates it when people talk about art. He never knows what to say.
I remember one time in downtown at the concert hall, the famous basso Silva sang a Low C. Now it just so happened that very evening there was a bass from one of the local choirs that happened to be attending in the balcony. And now all of a sudden, you can imagine our complete amazement, right? We heard him sing back, "Bravo, Silva!" an entire octave lower, just like this. Bravo, Silva. The entire theater went absolutely wild.
The angel of silence just flew by.
I have to go. It's late.
Why so early? You must stay. We insist.
My father will be waiting up for me.
That cruel man, really. Well, I suppose you must. I just hate to let you go.
If only you knew how I hate to leave.
Well, wait a minute. We'll get someone to walk back with you.
Oh, no, really, you mustn't.
You stay a while.
I'm afraid I can't.
Just another hour.
I
How about
can't.
that? Can you just stay?
I simply can't.
She is the most unfortunate girl.
They say her mother left her entire fortune to her husband, nothing whatsoever to the girl. And now the husband is remarried and is leaving it all to his second wife. It's simply a scandal.
It's true. Father's a monster.
Let's go back inside, shall we? I'm going to catch my death in this dampness and my legs hurt.
You're right. They're stiff as boards. How you boiled, dear.
Madam,
Well, there's that document. Ilya Afanasievich, can you tie them up?
Sorry, can't be done. Need him to guard the barn. Got the barn full of millet.
Yes, indeed, an entire octave lower. Bravo, Silva. And he wasn't even a trained singer. He was just from one of the local choirs.
How much do choir singers make? No?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. I really liked the play. There was something to it. It was new and different.
They've all gone. That Masha's been chasing me all over the place. I can't stand her.
Constantine, I liked you play a lot. I really did. It was strange, yes, and of course we never heard the end. It made a great impression on me. You're a very talented young man, you know. You have to keep writing. You're all upset. You've been crying. What is it I wanted to say? Of course, you tackled a difficult subject, an abstract one, and you were right to. Every work of art must express some great idea. True beauty is always a serious matter. Very pale. Are you?
You really think I should keep on writing?
Yes, of course. But you must only deal with serious, eternal topics. You know, I've led a varied life, lived it with taste, I like to think, and I've enjoyed it. But if I could just experience for a moment the excitement that must come with artistic creation.
Excuse me, but
and
where
one more
did Nina
thing.
go?
Everything you must write has to have some clear, concise, central idea. You must be aware of what you write, otherwise you'll lose your way and your creativity will destroy you.
Where's Nina?
She left.
I've got to see her. I've just got to. God, I'm going after her.
Calm down, my boy, calm down.
I don't care, Doctor. I have to.
You should go back to the house. Your mother's looking for you. She's all upset.
Tell her I left. Tell her I'm not here. And will you please leave me in peace? Just leave me alone. Stop following me around.
You mustn't talk like that, dear boy. You really mustn't.
Goodbye, Doctor. And, thank you.
Whenever people can't think of anything better to say, they say youth.
Disgusting habit.
Someone's playing piano inside. Someone's pushing it.
Can you wait a minute? I wanted to talk to you. I have to talk to somebody. I don't like my father. I like you better. I don't know why. Can you just help me before I do something stupid, before I make a mess of everything? I can't go on like this. I'm in so much pain. Nobody knows how painful it is. I'm in love with Constantine.
All this love. What can I do to help, my child?